afternoon, and good evening. This is Pamela, and you are watching Pam Entertainment TV, where we review movies, television series, and incidents in pop culture just to see how those incidents affect our daily lives. Listen, I'm a little late, but I have watched it, and this is coming right off the dome. I had to come right on here real quick and record because, baby, Bel-Air Season 9, Dreams and Nightmares.
Y'all, loud and wrong. The episode is entitled Can't Knock the Hustle, Not Dreams and Nightmares.
It's entitled Dreams and Nightmares. That title sounds familiar. Dreams and Nightmare. I want to say it's a Meek Mill song. Is it a Meek Mill song? Y'all let me know down here in the comments. I don't profess to know everything about what's going on in the rap game right now, but I think that that's a song or a title of an album. But anyway, that's not what we are here for. We are here to do this recap and review of Bel-Air Season 1, Episode 9, entitled Dreams and Nightmares. And baby, some folks' dreams are coming true, and some folks are reliving up their worst nightmare, child. So let's start this episode off. You remember last week was Will's birthday, and everybody was celebrating around his birthday. And the infamous Lou, who is Will's father, has come up. Because, you know, there has been a lot of speculation out here in the verse, all on Al Gore's or Beyonce's internet, depending on what perspective you come from. A lot of things going on in regards to what they speculated about Will's father. Some folks thought Will's father some people thought that Will's mom wasn't Vi, it was actually Viv. I don't think that to be true. Some folks thought that Uncle Phil may have been Will's father. We know that's not to be the truth. So what we find out is that there is, as this show starts, they are all getting ready to go to church. Because you remember during the Yamakra episode, the right reverend, basically told Uncle Phil he ain't seen him around the church in a while, and once he got big, he didn't come to church. So Phil and his family have been making extra efforts to get in and go to church, and we found out that young Carlton can sing. Well, I knew the person that plays Carlton can sing, and just FYI. The person that Jabari Banks, he actually can play the piano and he can sing. Lisa in real life can sing. Carlton in real life can sing. And Hillary in real life can sing. And it's my understanding that Aunt Viv can sing as well. So these are folks that are just really, really talented. They can sing and then they can act. But let me go in. So Carlton is a little nervous, and you can tell he's a little nervous about going and singing. Will, but before they leave the house, Jeffrey gives Will this packet of information, a dossier as we will, about his father. And he explains to him, you can get this information, but this information has implications on this whole family. So Will takes the information. You could tell he's a little little reserved. He's a little, nervous, scared, like a whole bunch of emotions are going through his whole little head about this whole situation, because he wants to know about his father. And I think the thing that really got to him was his when he asked Jeffrey, was his father dead? And Jeffrey said his father was alive. And you could see on his face just the real huge disappointment, because he knows his father is living, and his father has made 5, 6, 7 shakes to see about him in what, 14 years, because he's 17. So in 14 years, he hasn't walked up to him or done anything to let Will know that he's alive and he's kicking. So there is some trepidation about that. But Jeffrey left that up to Will. So they go to the church and they meet all the things. And we got old Carucci playing in this. I think, wasn't that Carucci? She's a friend of Hillary's, and both of them are social media. They're social media people, and Hillary wanted her to collaborate, but then I don't know what Carucci's character's name was, but she did give her kind of the side eye, like, Yeah, I see what you do. I don't know if that's what we gonna do and all this other stuff. So we also see, girl, we see the elusive gazelle that is Ashley. Ashley was in this episode. Again, asking questions centered around the LGBTQ issues and things like that. She said something to the pastor, and I think at one point her mother had confronted her about this. So I'm not going in any type of order. I'm just trying to get everything out because we're going to talk about this main stuff that we got to talk about. We see Aunt Viv go in for the fellowship. Now, how about the two people who she's interviewing is the original light-skinned Aunt Viv and the original Aunt Vi? Come on now. If you were friends of the show, if you enjoyed the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you recognize both ladies, Daphne Maxwell, who was the light-skinned Aunt Viv, and I can't think of the actress that played Aunt Vi. But those two ladies are over the fellowship, so it's nice to have that old coming into the new. So these ladies have come in, and they are now over the fellowship. They asked Aunt Vivian why she didn't pursue it, and she basically told them, how Will basically influenced her to get back on it because he comes in fresh with ideas and curiosities, and she said, I used to be that way. And she just kind of lost her way, and now she, with Will coming there, she feels more confident, I guess is the best word, to do what she needs to do this fellowship and everything like this. So they give her 24 hours, and honey, halfway through the thing, she calls in, I don't know if I can do this because I got so much stuff on me. And they're like, that's why we have a 24-hour policy. You're going to give us your decision tomorrow. So I think she called the original Aunt Vi and told her that, and the original Aunt Vi, I can't think of what her name is in the show right now, but she basically told Aunt Vivian, you've got 24 hours, you're going to take those 24 hours, and we're not going to encourage you or discourage you for an answer because we give you 24 hours. Do that. We see Hillary, she goes and gets Jazz again, and they sneak into the influencer's house to get her sign and a few of her other things, and they have committed to a first date. That's what it seems like to me. They've committed to a first date, and Hillary admits that she's living out in a bungalow at a 4-star hotel until she can figure out her situation. And I don't know how she thinks she gonna live out there for so long without Uncle Phil recognizing that charge on the bill. I don't know how much that costs. I know I don't know if it's cheaper than finding her an apartment someplace or just putting your tail between your legs and going back home. But Uncle Phil did tell her he was proud of her for not continuing the path that she was going down, and he's hoping that she'll go to law school. So apparently Hillary has the grades and Hillary has the smarts to go to law school, but her path right now is to do this social media thing, and I think that she's going to do that. We see Will and Carlton have a heart-to-heart at the church. Will confides into Carlton that he's he has this information about his father, and Carlton, to his credit, he basically told him that he did not have an answer for him, and I thought that was so. I don't want to call it emotional intelligence, but I do like the fact that you tell the truth about that. He didn't have an answer for him. So instead of him giving him a BS answer about things, he just told him, look, I don't have an answer for you. I don't know what I can say to you, but whatever it is, I support what you're going to do. So Carlton gets in there. He goes back into the choir. He sits down, and everybody sits down to listen to him sing. And poor baby, he had a panic attack out this world. I mean, he was, you could see he had signs of having that panic attack, but it was full blown when he went on that stage. So he started singing, and I was with him too. I was like, you better sing, Come on, let him use you. Let him use you, baby. Let him use you. But he had a panic attack, and bless his heart, he couldn't continue on. So then we get to the house, and I know Aunt Viv went to go talk to Carlton to see what was going on. So she goes in to talk with Ashley to ask Ashley, I understand that you are going through, you were first on climate control, and now you're on social issues of LGBTQ rights and things like that. And so instead of Aunt Viv just coming out and asking, she set up a situation where she tried to let Ashley know that if Ashley has anything to talk to her about, she will listen and anything like that. Ashley is a little apprehensive about that, telling her mom about this at this point. So I am, sometimes kids are like that. They just not going to come out and tell you everything that you think they're going to tell you. But it is nice to know that Hillary is a point of contact for her so that she can talk, and then maybe Hillary can stand in the gap and be the middle person to help Ashley get to tell her parents whatever she needs to tell her parents, okay? But it was good to see Ashley. I don't be liking this not to see Ashley. There's more than Carlton, Will, and Hillary and their shenanigans and stuff like that. I really like to see Ashley and whatever's going on with Ashley. I want some fair screen time representation. So then, let me see. So that I get all the little, I'm calling them B characters because I want to get into this Uncle Phil, Fred Wilkes, Lisa, and all of that shenanigans going on, and Jeffrey, all this shenanigans and stuff going on. But I'm trying to think if we've gotten everything that we needed to know about the other characters. So now, let's get into Will. So remember when I talked about that Will got the information about his father, he was feeling some kind of way, so he went to Uncle Phil. Well, let me back up. So let's go back to Uncle Phil, the campaign manager, and Jeffrey doing prep for the campaign. Before the, not the campaign, Lord have mercy, the debate. They're doing prep for the debate. And so there's questions and stuff being asked. And the campaign manager knows about Fred Wilkes dating this woman before his first wife died of lupus and all this other stuff. And that's supposed to be the big gotcha moment. But what the campaign manager doesn't seem to know that the biggest gotcha moment is Phil had how Phil got Will out of trouble, because we find out how Uncle Phil got him out of trouble. So they're having conversations, and then Uncle Phil and Jeffrey is like throwing being a little passive aggressive kind of. Telling him about being a good guy and throwing things out and stuff like that. And Uncle Phil's like, speak your mind. Tell me what you mean. And so Jeffrey tells him basically a little bit of stuff. The campaign manager don't want to hear that. The campaign manager is like, you're going to get out here and you're going to do this. And you've got this information on Fred Wilkes. You're going to use this information. Meanwhile, across the way, Fred Wilkes is telling Lisa that she needs to leave Will alone. She doesn't need to be bothered with Will, because he basically tells him about Will, and she's like, no, you're just lying to me, da 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 this and da 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 that. And he's like, I hope when you find out this information that you'll leave Will alone, because Will is bad news. And she's like, well, how did you know this information? How did you find out this information? And then Fred Wilkes says, well, Judge, what is Judge? I can't think of what his name is, child. What's the judge's name? Anyway, the judge who left Phil's campaign and went to come over to Fred Wilkes' campaign confided into Fred Wilkes that this is how Will came to live with them, and that he helped him get Will out of trouble, and whatever it was illegal. And so he was telling Fred, Fred was telling Lisa that he didn't want her to be with him because he's bad news. They don't have the whole full story, because if you had the whole full story, you would know what had happened. We know what happened, but he doesn't want Lisa to date him and do anything like that with Will. She thinks that Will is bad news. So let me keep moving forward. So we have Will going to Uncle Phil, letting him know that Jeffrey found out about his father. Baby, Uncle Phil was not having that. Uncle Phil was upset. But he was proud of Will for not, pursuing it. And, because he doesn't want Will to pursue it. He also Uncle Phil also tells Aunt Viv that Will is not pursuing any information on his father at this time. So they're pretty much in the clear. Will confides into Uncle Phil that he thinks that he's been more of a father than his own father is. And so he doesn't want to go through it right now. That's not the information that he wants right now. So let's go back. Uncle Phil was livid with old 00 Jeffrey, honey. He was mad. He said, you went behind my back. And, Jeffrey is like, I felt like that was a decision that Will needed to make. You didn't need to make that decision for Will. Will needed to make that decision for himself. So if he decided that he didn't want that information, I'm good with that because that's a decision he made, not that you made for him. Uncle Phil was pissed off. You went behind my back. I can't trust you, all this other stuff. So then he fires Jeffrey. Uncle Phil, you don't fire your shooter. You don't fire your shooter. You need him. You absolutely need him. And they're upset. You can tell. But this is just, for me, it was just two men whose philosophies are not aligning right. And Uncle Phil's like, well, you're just projecting because of the fact that you left your son. Jeffrey, what went on that you left your son, man? We need this backstory. We need a backstory about Jeffrey. Come on now. We need a backstory about Jeffrey. Because this was too much. It was too much. Uncle Phil was upset. Jeffrey was upset. Like I said, these are just two grown men having a difference of philosophy. And then they decided they were going to part ways. And so Jeffrey, being the consummate home manager / friend / shooter / 007 / whatever Jeffrey is, reminds him, say, it's going to look bad if you say that you fired me. Just say that I had some kind of a family emergency that I had to go tend to. And, you take care. And then he tells, Uncle Phil was upset about it. And Jeffrey was like, you need to prove me wrong. You need to prove to me that you're the man that I believe you are. Because he went off. Jeffrey told Uncle Phil who he was, who he wasn't, how everything he does is caught up in what he wants and his ambitions, and that he will bulldoze over his family if there's nothing in the middle to stand in the gap. Jeffrey. So we're going to see, because Uncle Phil, they went to the debate. Carlton and Will let him know about what happened that Fred Wilkes knows. Lisa confronted. That was just, I'm just like, child, you find out your boyfriend had some issues back at home, and then you want to make it seem like, well, I gave you everything, but that's the problem. Y'all give these men too much information too soon, and you spread your legs open too soon, and then you get caught up because you don't really know who these folks are for real, for real. We won't even get on that soapbox. So I'm not really studying Lisa on that point because there was no reason for you to be giving all that information. She should have spent the time to get to know him, to have a level of trust, and he probably would have told you. But you trying to know everything in 10 minutes, that ain't working, and now you stuck. Your feelings are all stuck and tied up between all of that. Anyway. So at the debate, Uncle Phil withdrew from the campaign. He told Fred Wilkes that, hey, you got it, player. You gonna get out here and do what you need to do. You got it, player. Go on and be the DA. I don't know why the judge seemed so surprised and upset and all this other stuff. You put all that in motion because all you had to do was keep what was going on with Phil and his family quiet and let the two things. But you got your ego caught up in there, which I thought was stupid because you're the one that pulled the strings. You're the one that pulled the strings. So did you not think that you were going to get caught up in this mess too? Child, please, a mess. I didn't think he was going to. I didn't know it was going to be where he was going to resign. but I didn't think he was going to do it. This is what I think. So now we're getting into my projections and things like that. I think the old judge with his little evil butt, I think he's about to croak. And someone is going to put Phil's name up for that judgeship. That's what I think. Let me go on and think about all the other stuff that I wanted to go over. Uncle Phil withdrew from the race. He told Vivian that she needed to go ahead and take the fellowship, and he got the family. So we're going to see what's going on. He's going to call Jeffrey back. I'm sorry. I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to call Jeffrey back, and everything is going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy. I think I think Will's father is going to come up next season, but we are prepped to know that Lou is something serious. So we are prepped to know that Lou is something serious. So here's my quick predictions, and then we will get off here, honey, because I feel like I'm just rambling at this point. It was all in all a great episode. We found out, everything came to it pretty much to a head. I don't know what the season finale is going to look like, but we will see. But basically, we got Carlton was confronted by Will about those drugs. Carlton said that he was going to stop drugs. He ain't gonna stop. He gonna be made to stop. But keep going. Hillary is going to figure out what she's going to do. Viv's going to take the scholarship. We've got Ashley still more curious about her role in the LGBTQIA community. We've got Will right now putting his father on the back burner, but he is trying to do what he needs to do to get with Lisa. We got Fred Wilkes running for district attorney. We got Uncle Phil trying to navigate his life outside of running for district attorney. So let's see. So that's basically it. So here's my predictions for the last episode. We are almost at the season finale. Next week is the season finale, y'all. What are we gonna do? We're gonna have the war on Bel Air. But anyway, here's my prediction. There's gonna be some issues with Kylo for Hillary. Because her going to the house when he wasn't there, there's going to be some issues. I don't know why she thought that she could be in that house and he's not going to know that she's been in that house. Especially for someone who has cameras all over the house. That's number one. I think her and Jazz are going to get together. And I think at some point she's going to have to tell her parents that she's living in the bungalow at the Four Seasons or wherever she's living. Will is going to continue to kind of navigate Bel Air. He's also going to try to navigate Lisa. Lisa's probably not going to be bothered with him. Uncle Phil is going to find it difficult to adjust without Jeffrey, and he's going to call his shooter back, and they're going to get together. I think Reed is going to come back and tour with Vivian. But Vivian seems to have taken a turn with Phil. I think that they've taken some kind of turn. So she's told him that she loves him, so they've taken a turn. But we'll see. My predictions about, not really just predictions, but the thing that I'm thinking about Lou, and I think I've said it, I've typed it on other people's reviews as they're talking about Bel Air. I don't know why. I don't think Jeffrey had Rashad killed. I'm thinking that Will's father is, I'm using the terminology, a made man. I think Will's father figured out that Will was in trouble with Rashad. And I think Will's father owns a night, because they said that Rashad was killed at the strip club. I don't know why I'm thinking that Will's father either runs the strip club, works at the strip club, or something. And he figured out that Rashad had it out for his son. And I think he had Rashad killed at the strip club. That's just my thing. I think because it's got to be something for everybody to have done whatever they've done to keep Will from his father. So I think that that's going to come to a head next season. But let me y'all, it was good. Y'all let me know what y'all thought of this episode. Let me know what your theories are, what your predictions are. We're coming up to the last episode, so I know that I'm going to do an in-depth character assessment on all the characters up until this point. And then really do a deep dive on all the characters. And then we're going to be watching the season finale, so look out for that. Also, just wanted to let you all know that I am going to be reviewing some Marvel shows. I know I'm going to be reviewing and Marvel and Star Wars. I'm going to be reviewing the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. I am going to be reviewing Moon Knight. And I am going to be reviewing Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. I'm going to be reviewing that. So look out for that. I am in turn looking for some alternative shows. I think I'm going to review the movie that's on Peacock with Lupita Nyong'o. I think it's 355 or 335, Agents 335 or 3. I'm going to be reviewing that show. So we will have things. So I don't know if I will have a majority black cast show to review going forward. I'm sorry, I'm telling the tale. I am going to review because I'm interested to see. Because I'm not really big on reality shows. However, this reality show has piqued my interest. It is the reality show from Netflix about the young South African black folks that are rich and stuff like that. So I'm going to review that show just to juxtapose it to like a Real Housewives of Atlanta, Real Housewives of Potomac kind of vibe, to see rich black folks in Africa, South Africa to be precise, and see how they're going, because that's interesting. I don't know anything about that, and I think that's just an interesting. It's piqued my interest, so I'm going to share it with you all. I'm going to start watching this weekend, and probably my first review of it will be up Sunday or Monday. All right, people, I've been on here too long. Please like, comment, and subscribe down below. Tell me what you think of this show. If there's something that you'd like for me to review, leave it down in the comments. And as always, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.